My name is Honorable Ambassador Chirau Ali Mwakwere. I'm the Minister for Environment and Mineral Resources of the Republic of Kenya. I am, at this moment in time, the chairman of AMCOMET, but I shall be handing over today. So in a few minutes' time, I'll be the immediate past chairman. This conference is extremely important. It is, in fact, the second session of the ministerial conference of ministers in charge of meteorology in Africa. Hitherto, meteorological information was being disseminated in a piecemeal manner to African countries or to those who needed that information. But having come to the realization that meteorological issues are global in nature, we are coming together to ensure that we share meteorological information, we make use of advanced scientific methods of gathering information on meteorology, and by so doing, help our countries make meaningful decisions that relate to activities in their countries for overall development. The first meeting was held in Kenya from the 12th to the 15th of April in the year 2010. This is our second meeting, and we hope in the course of time we'll put our agenda in order to help us achieve the intended purpose. This second session is extremely important in the sense that the formation of AMCOMET, or the formation of this organization that has brought together ministers in charge of matters relating to meteorology from all over the continent, is the first of its kind. No other continent has done what we have done so far. But of greater importance to us is that we'll be in a position to share information on meteorology all over the continent, because modern development cannot be planned meaningfully without proper information on weather patterns and extreme conditions that we are now experiencing as a result of global warming. So this meeting is moving towards ensuring that we all have scientific information that will be used by governments and other institutions to help in making decisions that will contribute to development in various areas in their countries. So we formed a task force in Nairobi. The task force will present its report here, and the task force had four key areas to look into. One, to work out the governance structure of AMCOMET, and two, to write the constitution of AMCOMET. Three, to work out rules of procedure of AMCOMET, and four, to do an integrated strategy on meteorology, that is weather and climate, for the whole continent, because such information cannot be taken on a country basis or piecemeal. Weather patterns cut across borders, and meteorological information or meteorology impacts strongly on virtually all areas of development. You consider agriculture. It's extremely important that predictions of the weather pattern be available to countries and institutions that must have such information to help in planning our agricultural activities up to the village level. If you look at matters relating to transportation, it's important that we have full information on the meteorological activities. Or when you look at the question of transportation, we need information that will help transport providers, whether it's air, sea, or land transport, make meaningful plans and have efficient transportation modes that are in many cases interfered with by changes in the weather pattern globally. If you look at health, there are some places where when it rains, certain diseases increase manifold, like malaria or diarrheal diseases. But if we know predictions on the weather in good time, it helps governments and other institutions make meaningful interventions to ensure that nationals of our countries are not affected adversely. We hear of floods also, the El Nino rains, and sometimes droughts because of the global changing climatic patterns. We all need to have this information in good time so that our countries and our governments may make useful or meaningful decisions that will mitigate any adverse effects related to development in our countries. Those are just a few examples, but you can say every sector of development in any country is affected by weather patterns. So meteorological records and information using modern scientific methods will help our countries make faster development in a more confident manner. We've embarked on very, very large reforestation programs to ensure that the environment is improved. But then we've done that successfully by using meteorological data that gives us prediction of the amount of rains that we'll receive and at what time and in what quantities, because even the quantities are very, very important. So these predictions are used in many ways. I'm just giving you the Kenyan example on the planting of trees and improving the green cover of our country. We've done that very well. I think it's a good example and worth emulating. But also, when we get predictions of prolonged droughts or less than normal rainfall, such information is also extremely important to all governments to ensure that countries still maintain food sufficiency despite the reduction in rainfall. If that information is given in very good time, as we do get from the meteorological departments of our countries, we are in a better position to plan for our citizens, for our people. This conference is extremely important. Meteorological information is not just for one country, because meteorology knows no borders as such. The change of weather patterns is not just restricted in one country. It cuts across countries. So we are here together as ministers responsible for meteorological services in our countries, and we believe that with that cooperation, exchange of information, with the coordination done at specific centers, we have 5 centers that are dealing with meteorological activities. With the assistance of the World Meteorological Organization and the African Union Commission, we shall be in a position to establish a weather center in Central Africa, the central part of Africa. So far, we have centers that are already collecting and disseminating information in Eastern Africa, in Nairobi. There's a center in Southern Africa. There's a center in Western Africa and a center in Northern Africa. However, we do not have a weather center of that magnitude with scientific equipment and specialized personnel in the central part of Africa. We need it, and I'm pleased that the World Meteorological Organization and the African Union Commission have shown tremendous interest in assisting us as AMCOMET to establish that center. So we're looking forward to greater times, great achievement, and improvement of lifestyles of all Africans. all people of the continent and beyond.